Hi,
Hello.
dengar, boleh dengar. Clear.
Okay, all right, clear.
Okay,
Okay.
all clear, all
Yep.
okay. I have burped, I have everything.
Kena burp dulu ke macam mana?
Kena
Ini
burp dulu.
stressnya. Okay,
Burp. Welcome back to He with Riffy Reds One podcast. This week's episode, I sat down with Seed and talk about parenting and childcare. She's a working mother of 3 and I've known her since I was 12. The fact that she cares about the current affairs, let's hear about our struggles in today's life and having a family. I'm just gonna tell you a little bit
okay.
about Sid. Sid is my school friend. We've known each other since in Malaysia we call primary school, since elementary school. I think I've started to get to know you pretty well when I was 12, 11 or 12. Were you at the school in 7 years old, or did you move from somewhere? That I wasn't sure. Were
So,
you there since you were 7, or were you there in between? Before you were
uh,
12? Because I know for sure we did our six, standard six together. That's when
uh,
yeah, I know you. Do you remember at all?
um, well, if my memory has not failed me,
Uh,
um,
uh-huh.
so when I was smaller,
Hmm.
my father moved around a lot because he was a doctor.
Okay.
So yeah, so um, I think I started primary school in Kelantan.
Okay.
And then I moved back to Ampang when I was 9. So
Okay.
yeah, I say move back because like so my father, I mean we my father had always wanted to like like raise a family in Ampang, so he bought a
Right.
house in Ampang and
Right.
everything.
Right.
And then his career like took off, so that's why we had to follow him macam
So that's when you started in
yeah.
Ampang, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I
then we came back,
remember.
but we didn't start really like communicating until 10, 11. So that
12.
was standard 4,
Yes,
5.
yes. I
We
remember
bonded
so well.
over Spice Girls,
Yes,
something like
yes.
that. And I think we bonded over Spice Girls, Backstreet Boys, and also I remember that we would always go to that chendol stall.
Candle store where they
Yeah,
sell drinks and
Tafufa.
roti john, tafufa,
Tafufa.
tafufa.
Yes. But I had such
Uh,
macam good memories with you. The one that I
uh-huh.
remember macam very vividly is that we were
Right.
eating taufufa,
Yes.
and
Yes.
then we were talking about how to clean our tongue so that our breath
Yes.
will not
Yes.
smell. You
Yes.
remember that?
Yes.
It was me, you,
And
and Nado.
and dog. And there's one more.
Aida.
Ida, three of us, four of us makes like Spice Girl. Wasn't it?
Oh, it was such. But but I think I don't know. But I think that our friendship really shaped a part of who I am right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it doesn't really pertain to this discussion lah, but I just want to say that that being friends with you honestly opened my eyes to like this different not world, this different side of how in school you were bullied, right? You were yeah,
I was
I saw
bullied
yeah,
a
the bullying
lot.
was horrible, I think.
Mm.
Now
Tell
that I
me about
think
it.
about it. So
Yes. Yes.
and then yeah, before like getting to know you, I think of course I didn't join in the bullying, but
Mm-hmm.
I was just like an observer, but I did nothing to stop it. But and
Mm-hmm.
then after being friends with you, then I realized that you know what, these people are just so mean. Those kids are just so mean, and just
Mm-hmm.
because you're a bit different than them,
Different.
then
Yes.
they bullied you. So I
Yeah.
think that is really profound. So growing up, I feel like whenever people are like, oh, let's listen because he's a bit
Of
of a fruit
or
cake. I mean, I'm
yes.
sorry to use
Yes.
that term of a fruit
Go
cake.
ahead. Yes.
Yes, and then I just because toxic masculinity is like, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's
Mm-hmm.
been there forever. And so growing up, of course, and I've encountered a lot of male who are
Mm-hmm.
not who are in touch with their feminine side as well. To be honest,
Yes.
there's nothing wrong
Yes.
with that, I feel.
Yes.
And it's just that whenever people bully this type of men,
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, you know what, whatever. I'm just gonna be friends with them, and you
Mm-hmm.
can just live your life. Okay, so here's the thing. Um, what is a parent like? What is parenting really? You come back to that. What is
Mm-hmm.
parenting? So a parent is someone who has a child. It can be
Mm-hmm.
biological. It may
Mm-hmm.
not be biological. It doesn't matter, as long
Mm-hmm.
as you have a child, and
Mm-hmm.
legally, formally, that child is yours to take
Mm-hmm.
care of. You're a
Mm-hmm.
parent.
Yes.
Okay, so what is your job as a parent? Is to raise this child, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you want to raise this child to become what? So I think in general overview, every parent wants to raise a child successful in this life. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's the term successful.
Yes.
So yeah, before I ever got pregnant, or before I had my first child,
Mm-hmm.
I always have this like um I would say this very simplistic goal of raising a child. I want him or her to be successful, and my the term successful here is just so limited to just the you know doing good in school, yeah, getting like a top 10 in class so that she'll be in the advanced class like you mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
and then so that she'll be successful in her life, so that she will secure a good job and then get be able to buy a house and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
um so but something happened like after I have my first child,
Right.
and then also after going through a lot of things in my life
Yes.
personally,
Yes.
I feel that that term raising a child to be successful is
Mm-hmm.
just um, degrading.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really, that's not really your job as a parent.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I view it today more as like, as a parent, I
Mm-hmm.
want to raise my child to
Mm-hmm.
be functional in the world. So it's not successful, but it's functional. Now
Yes.
the reason why I say that is because I realize now that I'm close to 40.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that being successful is overrated, and it's not
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
sole objective in life.
Yes.
What's
Yes.
more important is being functional. When I say functional, is that in mind, in
Mm-hmm.
body, you are
Mm-hmm.
functional as a human being.
And I
So
might want to add to that
go ahead.
in
Yes,
spiritual,
yes,
emotional, and all
yes.
that. I think you have
As
to function in all aspects of your body.
it brings me back to my own definition and my objective of parenting,
Mm-hmm.
that I really want to bring up a child to grow up in this challenging world,
Mm-hmm.
to
Mm-hmm.
become this, a whole individual who
Mm-hmm.
help other people, but at
Mm-hmm.
the same time, you know, is happy with his or with herself. I've daughters anyway.
Yes.
I don't have sons, so I that's so then okay. So reach this objective, right?
Mm-hmm.
You had, I mean, there are a lot of things that you have to go through, and like the challenges, and when you ask me to say
Mm-hmm.
what is the biggest challenge,
Yeah.
I really cannot say, because like it's different, going from a baby to a toddler to
Yeah.
5 years old, 5 years old to like
Aerosol.
10. So it's
And
like
then
it's
two.
yeah, exactly. So going back to you, because how old is your child now?
Now he just turned 4, and then I only have an only child.
Mm.
And then we're planning to have a second one, but at this point, I wouldn't say I wouldn't want any more.
Mm.
I would say I'm not fully ready just yet because I have just recovered from all this experience.
Oh, okay,
I
okay.
think it was challenging for me as a male who has this very feminine, as you may know it,
Not
living.
not 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 very feminine. You're just very in touch with your feminine side. There's
Yes.
nothing
And
wrong
then
or
the
shameful
role
about that.
and the
It's
role now
amazing.
is reversed. I'm the home parent,
Mm.
taking care of a child, and then my spouse is the breadwinner, and
Mm.
and it feels like trying to find that definition of your role as a husband now feels more like a wife.
But
So
do
I
you?
was. Yes.
even as someone who is very very in touch with their
Yes.
feminine side, you still struggle with that
Yes, I still struggle with the
definition.
definition because the society defines you like that.
I see. So it impacts you
Ah,
as well, even though
it impacts
even though
me. The
wow.
relationship, in the family, in the society, in the culture, because I don't know where to put myself because I am as I am.
Yes.
I wouldn't say I am so thrilled about it because it has its challenges, but I'm talking in the aspect of how do I come forward and present myself as myself. But
Yeah.
now when your role has reversed and the society and there's a religion aspect of that as well, that
Mm-hmm.
the nafkah part and all
Mm-hmm.
that become conflicting, it
Mm-hmm.
has become an issue for me because I want it to be clear, not just in my relationship, but also to my family, but to also society. That's why he started. It's to because
Ah.
we are now supporting, I am supporting women to go to work.
Yay,
To
you.
I support equality, gender equality. If men can work, women can work too. If men earn this much, women can earn this much too. There shouldn't be any gap between those two genders. So and now when there's a lot of when we are giving the opportunity to both genders, there will be, w- some men would be at home, you know,
Right.
and
So
then when you think
yeah.
about men at home, they think they, shake their legs,
No, 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 no.
do nothing. So I had experienced that very negative impact on that. Like it really hurt me bad because
So
I am,
because you're
not.
different. It
Yeah, I'm
comes down
different.
because it comes
Yes,
down to that you're different.
exactly. So when we talk about
Oh.
bully initially,
Mm,
can when
mm,
you talk about that, I felt like we may not be being bullied directly, but we can also be bullied indirectly, being in a toxic environment where people would say such things like, hey,
like
you
microaggression, things like that.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, that's
Yep.
the exact term.
Right.
So, going back to your question, what happened there was
Mm.
it's just that basically. It doesn't have to do with me being different. Actually, it's what the society define you. This A should be,
Yeah.
what B should be, what C should be.
So okay, so here's
So,
the interesting part because we seem to be at the opposite end.
yeah.
As you know,
Mm-hmm,
I am
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
a working mother, and I have three children, and
Yes.
my husband is on this rotation. He is
Uh-huh,
stationed in Middle East,
uh-huh.
so he goes on this rotation where he's 7 weeks there and he's only 3 weeks here.
So you feel like a single mother at some point because you have to be with the kids while he's away. So
Oh
you're
yes.
working at the same time. It's even more challenging than I myself, I suppose,
Not no, not really. Don't
No?
say that. Don't say that because you see, like I find it unfair that we are diminishing your own challenges because
Mm-mm.
other people are having their challenges.
Mm-mm.
Just
Mm.
because I have my own set of
Yeah, you're right.
difficulties to deal with
Yes,
doesn't
yes,
mean
you're
that
right.
yours should be discounted. You
Yes,
know,
yes, yes, yes.
if anything, it would be much better if society have this like mindset, that everyone is going through something.
Mm-mm. Yeah, yeah,
Everyone is
yeah.
going through something. So for example, like your part, I mean, I'm not sure if it's
Mm-hmm.
really on you volunteered to be a stay-at-home house husband or whatever
Mm-hmm.
you wanna label yourself. To me,
Yes,
it
yes.
doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
Or what's important is that society has to understand that in a marriage,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you have to make all these really, really radical changes for it to
Mm-hmm.
work.
Mm-hmm. That's
You know,
true. Yes, yes.
like how when the pandemic hits, or and
Mm.
I'm in oil and gas. It's very
Mm-hmm.
volatile, and
Mm-hmm.
we get like uh or we get massive retrenchment whenever the
Mm-hmm.
oil price
Mm-hmm.
hits low.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened then was like a lot of people were laid off, so a lot of men
Mm-hmm.
ended up with no job. right?
Mm.
So what do these men do in the meantime while they were looking for new jobs? They stayed at home and help out and help around
Yes.
until they can find, a new job if they want to.
Mm-hmm.
But regardless, I feel that sometimes people have to make these drastic changes because it works for them, and and sometimes it's not the most favorable option, but
Yes.
relative to all the other options that you have, that
Mm-hmm.
is the best. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes. I so know what you mean.
Yes.
Because when you talk about all these men had to be laid off,
Mm,
in the same way when I had to let her to pursue her studies,
mm,
and then when the child was born, I
mm.
had to take over the role of taking care so that she can continue her studies, and I had to quit my job. You know,
Which
so
is not easy to
it's
do.
not,
Even
it
even
wasn't,
if
it
even if
wasn't.
people ask me to quit my job, I'd be like, no.
Oh, exactly.
So I
That was
know.
me. It's hard. It's hard because you had your financial independence,
Yep.
and then but because I'm a man, and in our culture, it's
Mm,
expected to still, and I bet all these men who've been laid off, I think
mm.
they must have gone through some emotional turmoil.
Definitely. And it's not just okay, when you get laid off, even if I was not a man, right?
Right.
I imagine I get laid
Ah,
off. Like, how do you feel? You lost a job because
yes,
you're practically, in your mind, you're not needed in the company,
yes.
right?
And then you
So
have all these bills to pay, your house to pay, your cars,
exactly.
your whatever.
And then the added pressure of like the family or relatives
Mm,
or neighbors or all these aunties and
mm.
uncles saying like, macam, why don't you have a job?
Ah,
That person is, he or she is like downtrodden, and you come in and you step on her.
yes,
And
yeah.
like, what is this? Like, for me, if you really want to help, then you provide advice, or you
Mm-mm.
really help her out, like
Mm-hmm.
hook him or her up with like any opportunity or job offers.
Okay.
But it's just, so in your case, I feel that what you did was not an easy decision at all, but
Mm-hmm.
it is between you and your wife,
Yes,
and that agreement, whether be
yes.
it temporary or permanent, that is
Mm-hmm.
between you and your wife.
Yes. And then if you're okay with it, we're okay with it as a couple. You know what I mean? The
Exactly.
people don't have to budge into it and get involved and decide for you because it's your relationship.
Exactly.
I
It's your
think
family unit,
yes,
right?
and the problem comes when people get involved.
Yeah,
It's
it's so, yeah, I mean, I
into that.
understand. I understand curiosity. I understand
Uh-huh.
curiosity because I am a curious person too. Macam,
Uh-huh.
you have like this, for Malaysians we call it bawang. Like you
Uh-huh.
always want to gossip. So
Yeah.
yes, I understand that culture, but I don't understand how can you just simply go and offer your unneeded advice, quote unquote advice,
Yes.
when that person is going through so much.
Yeah.
Perhaps what you can do is
Mm-hmm.
just take a step back and just
Mm-mm.
really see if what does he or she need. Does he or she,
Yeah.
or maybe you just should back off.
Or
So
simply listen, Joe, you know?
exactly,
Mm-mm.
betul tak?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
So but I find it very interesting when you mention like this is your challenge really with
Yes.
your struggle of like you and your wife are okay with you being the main
Mm-hmm.
caretaker or of
Mm-hmm.
the child, the main
Yes.
parent, I would call
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
But it's just that other people who are, I don't know, it's just this, I don't even know what to call it anymore, but this expectation, and they use
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
religion as well.
Yes. Yes.
That religion part, I understand that for the men,
Mm-hmm.
you're expected to bring in the nafkah,
Yes.
and which you have been doing, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Before you made that decision to like let her pursue her dreams,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-mm. Yeah.
Yeah, so to me it's just that I don't understand this mean girl culture that's going on. So from my end, because like I mentioned of the situation, so
Mm.
before my husband was stationed in Iraq, he
Mm-hmm.
was stationed in Bintulu.
Mm-hmm.
So we
We
found out that, yeah, we found out that he would be going to Bintulu when I was 2 months away from my due date.
mm.
Mm.
Oh my
So
God, that's quite
yes,
challenging.
it was very, it was very stressful. I had like two younger children. They were really small at that point. I think Iman was 4 and Iklil was like 3, or yeah,
Uh-huh.
Iklil was 3. No, no,
Oh.
yeah, Iman was 3 and Iklil was 2. So can you imagine? I was pregnant, and then suddenly came this big life-changing decision from my husband's
Mm-hmm.
company, sending him
Mm-hmm.
to Bintulu.
Mm.
So my husband was ready to, like, he was like, you know what, let me just quit and I'll just find a new job somewhere. But I,
No.
yeah, but I,
Uh,
you know what I did? I felt like I could have quit, right? I could have quit and be like a stay-at-home mom, but I just
mm-hmm.
feel like in my mind, in my calculation, I feel that
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna have 3 children.
Mm-hmm.
There's this financial, not, I wouldn't say burden, but financial responsibility that we
Yes.
really, really need to think about. You
Yes.
know, as
Yes.
a as that comes with, your responsibility as a parent.
Mm-hmm.
So I talked to him and said, you know what, it's okay. Just go to Bintulu. It's good for your career. What
Mm-hmm.
I will do here is I will manage as much as I can with whatever
Mm-hmm.
support that I have while working. Because I will not, I never intend to give up my job at this point with everything
Mm-hmm.
that's going on. So
Mm-hmm.
back
Mm-hmm.
then, I was adamant. I said, no, you go, let me stay with the kids. So what happened that I had to induce
Mm-hmm.
my
Labor.
my labor,
Uh-huh.
because I want to make sure that he was there when the baby
Mm.
arrived, because
Okay.
the company wouldn't move his moving date. They
Mm.
wouldn't even wait a couple of weeks.
Okay. Because he has to be there.
Yes. Well,
It is what it
honestly,
is. Yeah.
well, I mean, I don't think that the company will burn to the ground if he didn't move by the date that they set up. But it's just a
Mm-hmm.
matter of, I don't know, bureaucracy or whatever. But it
Mm-hmm.
was in the past, and I was like, you know what, it's fine. If they won't move,
Yes.
then I'll move. So I,
Yes.
I made that call. So started from then. So basically, my third child, her whole life, her father has always been an intermittent figure. You know,
Mm.
So and
Mm-hmm.
it's
Mm-hmm.
always me. So she really bonded with me.
I
So
see.
I am the main caretaker, but it's
Mm.
just, and I have, Alhamdulillah, I have a maid, well,
Mm-hmm.
who helps me with a lot of things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And also I figured out that I couldn't live by myself, so I live with my mother and father.
Yes. Yes.
This shames me, to be honest. When I
Mm.
when I have to
Yeah.
say this to people, I feel shame, because they're like, oh, you're still living with your parents and
Mm-mm.
you're with your 3 children.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? Let me tell you, like, I work like a dog, you know. I work like a dog, honestly. There will be time when I wouldn't even sleep. Like last night, I didn't get any sleep because I was preparing for something
Mm.
today.
Mm. Mm.
So I thought that, you know what? Yes, people will look at me like, oh my God, why she is so busy with her work. Like, her children are being neglected. She's leaving everything to the mother, to the grandmother, and to the maid, while
Mm-hmm.
all that she does is work.
Oh.
At one point, I felt that, but you know what? In the end, I talked to my husband about this, and I realized that, you know what? I really, really am doing my best.
Mm.
I
I
am
think
doing, yeah,
I think you're not just doing your best, you're doing all you can as well to suffice all that, you know? And then having said that, people have this impression that that you're still living with your parents. I think it's okay to get some help like that.
yeah,
Can?
true. Yeah,
It's
betul. So,
mm,
but the thing is, because
mm,
my parents have their own maid, I have my own maid.
mm-hmm.
So you know what? I'm willing to fork out that additional money to hire someone. You
Yeah,
know,
because yeah,
let's be honest, okay, meats are not cheap, and I'm not
they're
like,
not. They're
I'm
not.
like, my I only make enough to go by, like, so
But that
so
makes a difference when you have a help like that,
yes,
whatever the
so
amount was. Because I grew up with help my entire life
I
until I
see.
have a son. I didn't have one,
But it's a
and
good
I was
experience,
living.
right?
It was so good, and I didn't even think that it was that difficult because I didn't think that I grew up with a nanny all my life, and then
Mm,
when I was planning for a child.
mm,
I didn't think it would be that difficult because I didn't have to go, my mother didn't have to go through all that. So I never had to actually observe and to think that would happen to me until he was born.
I
And then I was
see.
living in the States at that time. Having a
It is.
nanny, it's a crazy amount of money to pay, you
Oh,
know?
yeah. I can only imagine. I mean, for anyone in America to have a nanny or, a helper, or I can guess the amount of money that you're
Woo.
making. Let's say
Mm,
it's Hollywood
mm.
level, but
Yes.
yes, but
That's
in
why I want to
Malaysia,
talk about childcare.
yeah.
It's not just the parenting that's hard. It's caring
Because
for them.
you're still going through that phase where your son is still babyish. He
Ah.
still needs like a very high amount of
And
attention
then
on him.
really salute women who work or anyone who work.
Anyone
And
who
then
work.
again, anyone who work, let's just say women, but I would say women at this point because they also get pregnant, they give
Uh-huh.
birth, and then if they have to go work, and then if they were single mothers, I really salute them. I had no idea how they do it.
After going through this experience, like so it's been 5 years of us, having
Mm.
this long distance relationship, like
And
still,
still is still.
yeah. So he just left for Middle East
Oh,
last night,
you.
in fact.
Huh?
So, I have I can't even like express the amount of respect I have for single parents out there, especially
I
as
agree.
yeah, especially the ones who are without the better half or other half support.
Mm.
The better half or other half just simply bye, ciao, peace
That's
off.
one. And then what if they have they're going through some financial problems as well? They're not just single
Yes.
mothers, financial issues and whatnot. I think that would add to not just stress,
Pain.
but some
Yeah.
form of mental.
So I feel that all of these single mothers who manage to raise their
Mm.
children are just superheroes, and they deserve
They
all this.
do.
They deserve all this recognition in the
Yes,
world.
they do. They do. They do.
Like
They really
I'm
do.
I'm like you, because when I was pregnant, I was going through all this, like, like parenting books and all
Mm-hmm,
that.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Everything was theoretical, and I was like, you know what, it's not so hard. I can do this.
That's
I went through university. I'm pretty
yes.
smart, blah blah blah.
You
And then
really
came the
put
real
that.
experience, and you're like,
Yes.
no amount of books will ever prepare you for this.
No, exactly.
It helps you to a certain degree, right? Like,
Yes, to
macam
understand
how to
and
swaddle your
yes.
child, how to burp
Yeah. Yeah.
them, like
Yeah.
the temperature of the milk if you're using formula and things like that. But but really, your child is a human being, you
Mm.
cannot program them at
Mm.
that age, especially your son's age, you've seen this as well. They are, it's very hard to say do this and they will do that exactly, right?
Yes.
And so,
You.
yeah, so I totally feel you for daycare. I mean, I've been through it, and okay, trust me, like, so having a maid helps a lot, but
Mm-hmm.
like there was this one time where Daniel was not
Mm-hmm.
was KL, he was in Bintulu.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened was, my eldest child suddenly got very, very sick. It was a high temperature, 40 Celsius. So I had to rush to the ER at about, I think, 3 o'clock. I went to the ER, got everything sorted out, and they managed to bring the temperature down. So I left the ER about 5 a.m. And
Mm-hmm.
6 a.m., I decided, you know what, I'm not going to take any leave because, I have to
Mm-hmm.
save up all my leave. So 6 o'clock, I was out. I was getting ready for work the entire day and come back at and I came back at 8 p.m. that night.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So I just feel that, what, without a maid it will be even worse. So
Mm-hmm.
I really couldn't imagine myself working and not having help.
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen my friends did it. So it's just that really, really, I salute them, and I salute you for, being able to take care of your child, especially that you're a man. Just to share with you, I
Yeah.
most of surprisingly, like, interestingly, most of my close male friends,
Mm-hmm.
they are very, very helpful
Mm-hmm.
with the housework and
Mm-hmm.
also with the raising the child
Yes.
part,
Yes.
even though
Yes.
they are working. So they would actually share the amount of work with their
To get the
spouses.
spouse, yeah, that's the
Yeah.
way to go. I must say, that's the way to go. I think men have well. Any spouses and their spouses have to help each other. That's what makes a great relationship or partnership,
Yeah,
regardless. Yeah.
but what but what I'm also hearing
Mm-hmm.
comments
Mm-hmm.
from the older generation. They're like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, you know what, your husband shouldn't be doing all that. It should be you because you're the
Yeah.
mother. You know, like even when you come back. So say when Daniel comes back from work, and even though I myself am working, let's say that
Mm-hmm.
both of us are walking through the door at the same time because I got back from work, I have to go and make tea for him, even
Mm-hmm.
though I also just got back from work. Like, who's gonna make tea for me? You
Yeah.
know, those
Yes.
kind of things. So like whenever they see Daniel like is involved in the children's, like, bathing them, or
Mm-mm.
changing their diapers, they'd be like, I got this thing eyes lah several times because of
Mm-hmm.
that. But just as long as you and your husband or
Mm-hmm.
you and your wife are
Mm-mm.
okay and you guys are working as a unit and it works for you, just
Yes.
do it.
Exactly. What's your hope now as a parent for our children in the future?
So really, my hope is that our children will realize, what does being a human being really mean, to be functional, to be whole,
Mm.
you know, so that because of that, when they realize what it means to be a human, to be functional, and to be a wholesome
Mm-hmm.
person,
Mm-hmm.
they would be able to be kind and help other people. Because I think we realize that with we are already dealing with a lot of things, right, as not
Mm-hmm.
just as a parent, as a human being, and with this all added pressure from around us,
Mm-hmm.
just makes things even more difficult, so that it becomes this cycle, because you're broken.
Yes.
You're
Yes.
broken, and then what will happen is you will break your child, and
Yes.
he or she will grow up broken, and then he
Mm-hmm.
will do the
Mm-hmm.
same thing. So if everyone and because if no one stops the cycle, then it's not gonna nothing's gonna
Nothing gonna
change.
change. Yes. Yes.
So
We have to be the
yeah.
change in change.
Yeah, and I think
Mm.
majorly part of it is just stop with all this generalization of this is what a mother
Mm-hmm.
role is,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
this is and everything is set in stone. You cannot change, add, or delete accordingly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I think one thing that I just want to add is I think what will help also as parents in terms of our children's achievements,
Mm-hmm.
because ultimately a child or a human being is not measured by the number of A's or the amount of skills, like how many musical instruments he or she can play, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
The
Mm-hmm.
most important part is for that person to contribute to other people, to be kind and to help, basically. So I think in general, that's all.
Thanks for listening to He with Rafi Redzwan podcast. New episode airs every Thursday on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Don't forget to follow He Podcast on Instagram for all the updates and behind the scenes. Please subscribe, rate, review, and comment. Once again, thank you for listening to He with Rafi Redzwan.